suspected kidnappers, cyber fraudsters in River State. Residents suspend protest on poor state of Imbiama axis of East-West Road. Job applicants complain of hitches during aptitude test by River State Post-Primary School Board. Federal Executive Council approves additional funds for Ogoni cleanup. President Buhari seeks Senate approval for fresh loan. On the foreign scene, Israeli airstrike kills missile commander in Gaza. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Ifeimi Andrew. We begin the news this Thursday morning with the thoughts of some stakeholders in River State on how best to curb the rising crime rate in communities. As you may know, the post-election season in the state has recorded a high number of crime ranging from kidnapping and killings, mostly linked to court activities. A community leader in Obibiache, Emmanuel Amadi, spoke of the approach his community had to adopt to curb crime. As you know, Obibiache recorded high crime rates in the past, with a quick Google search of Obibiache showing that the community was always in the news for the wrong reasons, especially criminal activities. Speaking on this, the community leader in Obibiache said the community resorted to handing over suspected cultists in the area to security agencies, which helped curb crime. Mr. Amadi also said that the local vigilante community helped tackle the menace.
We decided that clearly, if any person does anything that is contrary to what we have said, we are not going to support the person. We are going to work with the security agents to make sure that this menace is on. It has been paying off for us. Another effort is vigilante. We also have vigilante. So these people who want to make sure that we curb the menace of cultism. We are still calling on government, especially the law enforcement agencies, that they should continue doing what they are doing, helping us to make sure that this menace is curbed.
Also, an Anglican priest, Chieme Chimaobi, advised that politicians refrain from offering arms to young people. Reverend Chimaobi also spoke about the religious organizations and what they are doing to address cultism.
The church tried to inculcate the fear of God, inculcate Christ-like life on the children. That's the way the church is addressing the issue about cultism, through intentional discipleship. Our politicians lure most of the youths. Like we saw during the last elections, they were the ones that empowered those who were causing violence in the election. And after the election, the boys have been empowered and they want to remain relevant.
On his part, the CDC chairman of Umwechem community in Echie local government area, Thank God Agbam, said society needs to see sensitizing the youth against cultism as a personal responsibility.
The violence does not come in isolation. When people are not allowed to go to farm, people are not allowed to go for their businesses. Definitely there will be poverty now. There will be hunger. Nobody will see where their children go and will have to go to such place. Most parents whose children are caustic. Does it mean that they are not training their children well? No, they are training them well. But I don't know where the children are learning this thing. Some community leaders are also victims of the attack of these people. I could remember in ODB where a teacher man was killed because he said they should stop autism. So some parents have tried their best. Teachers are trying their best. Parents have a role to play. Even though the children are not listening to their advice, it is their responsibility to continue talking. It is the responsibility of the teacher to continue teaching. Clergymen to continue praying.
Yesterday, police said 8 suspected kidnappers and cyber fraudsters were arrested in Saipo Estate, Umwebule 1 in Echie local government area. The spokesperson of the River State Police Command, SP Grace Iringekoko, told newsmen that the police operatives acted on intelligence. She said one of the kidnapping victims was a job seeker lured by his friends in promise of a hotel job. SP Grace Iringekoko said the victim was beaten after he demanded to go home since the job was not forthcoming. She said the suspects demanded a 500,000 naira ransom from the victim's parents as a condition for his release.
At the River State Police Command on Tuesday, on the 9th of May 2023, while acting on reliable information, raided the hideout in Sipo Estate in Umebile 1, Echie local government area in River State. In the process, 8 suspects, all male, were arrested, while one victim, name withheld, age 20, was rescued. In their verdict, confessed and revealed that their modus operandi includes defrauding innocent citizens online and feeding them of their hard-earned money.
SP Iringe Koko, the police spokesperson, however, advised parents to monitor the activities of their children.
The Commissioner of Police, River State Police Command, CP Okon Effiong, has advised parents to monitor the activities of their children and hereby wary of the friends they keep. Residents of the state are therefore enjoined to remain supportive, law-abiding and vigilant and prompt report acts of crime and criminalities to the nearest police station by calling the command's emergency numbers 080-3200-3514, 080-9888-0134.
The kidnapping victim also spoke to newsmen.
I called my friend, a good friend to me, that I need a job for work to help me. Then I said that no problem, that few days he will call me back. Then after then, she now called me that she come to have the work for me. Then like a friend I trust, I follow him. Said I should drop at Oyibo Express. Then as I drop for there, she then come and pick me up. I pick me up, then he took me to where he sleeps. As I reached there, I see like 13 boys in that house. Then she tell me that she wait, I should do it. The next day, he come and tell me the result. Then I did like 2 days. Then I now calling like a friend that I don't like the place and living. I don't like the work. She called me that she come and work. That I want to go back. He said that no, I can't go anywhere.
One of the suspects, Isaac Patrick, gave his own account of the incident.
I was just sleeping on my house. Then the police come and pick me up from my house. That is all. So when I come down to the police station, I found one of my boys that said that I kidnapped him, which I do not know anything about that. Street, we are doing street work. We have to not get work. We are doing street. That is our work. That is what we do. As work no day. So that is small experience we have. Though we have to use it to eat. Instead of no go teach something after I mean no come carry us go. And see, nobody beat the boy. We have say the boy still won't go. Now me flog him. No because now me flog him. Tell him say you are not going anywhere because you don't eat my food, don't chop, you don't come spoil my laptop joint.
Correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that items recovered from the suspects include 7 laptops and items suspected to be hard drugs. Meanwhile, police arrested 3 street light vandals in Burukri, River State. In a statement, the police named the suspects as Belema Ago, Michael Edet, and George Itarikabo. According to the statement, community leaders in Burukri provided information that led to the arrests. The statement said the 3 young men were caught in the act of vandalizing street lights provided for the community by the NDDC. 8 solar panels, 8 heavy-duty batteries, and 2 street lights were recovered from them. The statement said an investigation is ongoing to arrest other members of the gang as well as receivers of previously stolen items. Staying with crime stories, the anti-cultism unit of the River State Police Command says it arrested a suspected armed robber while on a routine stop and search along the Polo Club by GRA Port Harcourt. A statement by police spokesperson Grace Iringekoko said the suspect, who is 26 years old, is Covenant Okon. She said 1 revolver pistol and live ammunition were recovered from the Mazda vehicle he was driving. The statement said the suspect and exhibits are in police custody and the investigation is ongoing with a view to arresting other members of his group. Moving on, the president of the Engeni Youth Assembly, Onem Okenya, says the protest over the poor state of the Yenegua and Biama Auda axis of the East-West Road has been suspended. Mr. Okenya told correspondent Onyekachi Wonsu that the Federal Ministry of Works has assured the protesters that the contractor awarded the road construction project would soon be mobilized to site. Mr. Okenya said the people decided to suspend the protest following the assurance from the Federal Ministry of Works.
The protest is supposed to have continued, but from all indication, I think we have a signal, from the Federal Ministry of Works that the contract for the construction of that particular spot has been awarded back to Cetraco. And so within the shortest frame of time, they are going to mobilize to site. That is the information we just got today.
Mr. Okenya said the road had made life unbearable for the people of Engeni Kingdom.
Our life was in danger. Do you know that just last week, a tanker conveying a petroleum product fell on that road? And you see people going to scoop it. But it took the intervention of the military men there to avert the looming doom that would have befallen the people of Engedi Kingdom. For us to be on the safer side, I think it was necessary for us to come together as a people and lay our grievances to the relevant authority. I think that is what necessitated the protest.
Yesterday morning, the youth-led protests saw hundreds of residents take to the streets, blocking major roads and causing traffic disruptions, leaving commuters stranded. The protesters, including women with placards, demanded the immediate intervention of the federal government over the bad state of the road. The road, which connects several states including Rivers, Delta, Benin and Lagos, is in urgent need of repair. Meanwhile, an environmental expert, Maurice Alagua, says it is disturbing that the federal government is delaying to fix the portion of the east-west road that caved in as a result of last year's flood.
Up till now, nothing has been done apart from that initial dropping of asphalt to ensure that people pass. Nothing has been done. The authorities are not being responsible enough. Maybe we will now say the NDDC, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, whatever MDA that is in charge of such things. I don't know how fast they can do it, but it is not late to start work on that section of the east-west road, and then even maybe to ensure that we have adequate coverage in that area so that the road, no matter the pressure of the water, the road will not give way.
On his part, a stakeholder from the Ngeni area, Success Jack, called on the federal government to fix the damaged portion of the east-west road before this year's flooding begins. He urged the government to carry out shore protection for some of the coastal communities expected to be affected by heavy rainfall.
There should be extensive and solid shore protection activities. There's a recommendation stating that we need certain dams in some areas to mitigate against this kind of flooding issue. In the short term, I think that the communities most affected, Ngene land, the 21 communities stretching across along the coast of the Orashi River, should have extensive shore protection works done. There should be dredging. So that this dredging and canalization should be able to take care of the effect of this flooding.
In a separate interview with correspondent Zebiruwari, the president of the Ngeni Youth Assembly, Okenya Onem, said people from the 21 communities in Ngeni community are living in fear following the prediction that this year's flooding will be heavy.
We are actually apprehensive considering what we went through in the last flood. We had a bitter experience. In fact, we are living in agony when we were abandoned by those who ordinarily should have come to rest. And so we are apprehensive. We are living in fear, having witnessed such a disastrous flood, last year. So we expect that more things would have been brought to the people then, but nothing of such happened.
It comes as 15 local government areas in Rivers State have been predicted to experience high-risk flooding this year. Staying with this, the Director General of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, Clement Nze, has accused state governments in Nigeria of not taking action to combat flooding. Mr. Nze made the accusation on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire. He said the Rivers State government did not take any action after the federal government set up the Presidential Committee for the development of a comprehensive action plan for preventing flood disasters in the country.
The committee was given 90 days to come up with a comprehensive action plan to prevent the disasters that associate and others associated go along with flooding in Nigeria. Rivers State didn't receive every move we made. We traveled everywhere. Likewise, other states they were received. But we came to Rivers. It was a special committee, but we were received by junior everyone. I don't know which ministry it is that received us eventually, and we couldn't go anywhere. So nobody said they can't take us to anywhere.
Mr. Nze also spoke on ways to tackle flooding in Rivers State.
We expect that the state should embark on sensitization of the city to clear their drainage, make them passable in the course of rainfall flooding. The state should summon the political will to remove structures that are blocking or impeding the floodway. Don't allow people to build within the floodplain. Also, you should be able to carry out flood vulnerability mapping.
Still ahead, job applicants complain of hitches during aptitude test by River State Post-Primary School Board. Stay tuned. Who sat for the online examination for employment with the River State Post-Primary School Board were frustrated yesterday due to some glitches with the internet. The online exam is a mandatory test for applicants seeking teaching appointments in state public schools. As you may know, the River State government made a quota to the board to employ 1,000 teachers from recruitment of 10,000 youths into the state civil service. One of the aggrieved applicants who spoke to correspondent Emeka Otuka said they were unable to log into the online platform for the exam.
And today is the main test. Now, the exam time is 12 noon. Up to now, the site has not opened. And what they're selling on the site is maintenance mode. So the site has not opened. Called other people from other centers, people that are involved, the same story. Nobody is able or has been able to log into the site. So the site has not opened as I talk with you. My concern is that if you don't write the test, well then what will be your fate? You know, what's the next step? We don't know what is going to be the next step, or if they will assume that the test has taken place and a lot of people will be denied the job. If they put into assumption that the test has taken place, that's just my fear.
They also said that they had a similar experience during the mock exam.
What happened yesterday is that some people were able to log in but couldn't submit at the end of the test, even before the time elapses. A lot of other persons noticed that the time was extended from 12 minutes, that was the initial time for the exam, to 1 hour. At the lapse of 1 hour, nothing still happened, could not still submit. We took that to be the mock test, and today is the main test. Now, the exam time is 12 noon. Up to now, the site has not opened.
The River State Post-Primary School Board has not spoken on this, but our correspondent gathered that over 23,000 people applied for the job. The Federal Executive Council has approved a sum of 129.8 billion naira for various projects in the Niger Delta Ministry, especially the Ogoni Cleanup Project. Senior Special Assistant to the President Garba Shehu said this after the FEC meeting, which lasted for over 7 hours on Wednesday. With about 18 days until handover on May 29, President Muhammadu Buhari has asked the Senate to approve his request for an $800 million loan from the World Bank. The president's request was contained in a letter read by Senate President Ahmed Lawan at plenary session on Wednesday. In the letter, the president said the $800 million loan facility is to finance the National Safety Net program to support poor Nigerians. He said the money would be disbursed to poor households across the country. The president said the loan is an extension of the federal government's current unconditional cash transfer program.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
A pre-dawn Israeli airstrike on an apartment in the Gaza Strip has killed a top Palestinian Islamic Jihad commander and one other person.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, you heard police have arrested suspected kidnappers and cyber fraudsters in Rivers State. Residents have suspended protest on posted of Mbiama Oda axis of East-West Road. Job applicants are complaining of hitches during aptitude test by Rivers State Post-Primary School Board. Federal Executive Council has approved funds for Ogoni cleanup. President Buhari is seeking Senate approval for fresh loan. On the foreign scene, Israeli airstrike has killed a missile commander in Gaza. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. Mostly cloudy weather is expected in Port Harcourt this morning. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Ifeemi Andrew. Good morning.